Hey there, it's the TV Regent back with yet another X-Men video. Yes, we heard you. Yes, you. You who can't get enough of the crazy Logan, aka Wolverine. Not like anyone can blame you though. Who'd get tired of seeing the fan favorite Wolverine? So due to popular demand, let's take a look at Volume 2 of the best Wolverine fights. Starting off this list, we have Wolverine vs. Sabertooth. So to kick it off, we have the scene where Rogue's being captured by Magneto to be used as a battery for his evil plans from the first X-Men movie, the one where it all started. Anyway, as a protective father, brother, friend, or whatever sort of relationship Wolverine had with Rogue, he, along with the other X-Men, fights Magneto's men to stop him and save Rogue. Though not yet really revealed in this movie, if you're a die-hard fan who's read the comic, it's pretty obvious that of course Wolverine has to face Sabertooth. You gotta love this fight scene. Other than the amazing battle, Wolverine has a lot of cool moments in just a single fight. The part where he's about to fall but with his claws manages to make a 360-degree turn from the crown of Lady Liberty, and even when he recovered his dog tag. He teams up with the captured Jean and Scott and together they beat Sabertooth. You start to realize that in the X-Men uniform, Wolverine looks a lot like his action figure, or is that just a personal observation from me? And not to mention, of course, Lady Liberty had a bit of a rough night there.
The hell?
Next up, we have Wolverine traveling to the past. Waking up next to a girl after sleeping with her. Guess that's exactly where you'd expect Logan to end up after traveling back in time. But no one can really blame the girl for what she did. Is that right, ladies? Okay, back to the topic. After being sent back to the past by Charles to save their future, Logan finds himself in a mess. Still, it's nothing he can't handle, especially if you add the prime body of Logan with his future knowledge and skill. Those bums are in deep trouble. Even without his adamantium bones yet, he's still someone you shouldn't mess with. You gotta admit it, it's kind of cute though that he still went for his dog tag.
You're gonna want to lay low for a few days, alright? Starting now. Come on, out. Go.
Did you just call me Blob?
No, but...
Coming in at 8 is Wolverine vs. Blob. Hard-headed's definitely a good way to describe Logan. Other than the fact that he's stubborn and won't listen to simple orders, this scene just proves how hard-headed he really is. In his search to find his brother Victor to seek revenge, he went around and asked his former teammate about his whereabouts. But the big hunk piece of meat won't blab, so as suggested by his cowboy body, he should try dancing with him a bit on stage, which Logan reluctantly does. But even after throwing his punches, his attacks were just bouncing off Blob's inflatable stomach. Like the waterbed where Logan woke up from, Blob's stomach would just eat his punches like they were nothing. However, overconfidence can be deadly. When Blob thought he could do some serious damage to Logan with a headbutt, it backfired. Lesson learned for him, never headbutt a guy with an adamantium skull. This scene's just too hilarious not to be in the top 10, right? Wolverine vs. Silver Samurai makes it to number 7. Who doesn't love a fight scene between a man and a robot? The gang from How I Met Your Mother sure loves them, so why wouldn't you? Here we witness Wolverine battle a metallic samurai made from the same metal as his claws, which possess an even greater challenge than those Wolverine's previously faced. This predicament forces him to fight in a way he's never done before, the way of the samurai. So unlike him, huh? He wouldn't even hold the sword properly at the beginning, but with his claws being trimmed, he had no choice but to hold it with 2 hands. Seeing Wolverine cornered is exhilarating, and you can't help but watch him overcome a trial like this. You can't blame Wolverine for being pushed to his limits here. The suit was built not just for sustaining a stubborn old dude from dying, but for him to be able to hold his own against an immortal hunk, just long enough for him to drill into Wolverine's claws and suck his healing abilities, which, if not for Mariko, he would have succeeded. Guess he's the damsel in distress in this battle, isn't he?
Sayonara.
Up next, we have the bar fight. You can't really call guys brothers until you see them rumble. There's just something about dudes that compel them to punch each other to express their unspoken love. or anger. An angry Logan comes yelling inside a bar where Sabertooth aka Victor's waiting patiently for him. Apparently Victor killed Logan's bae to get his attention. Talk about a needy brother, hey? The two brought out their claws and fight each other. Though it's not Wolverine's shining moment, you gotta admit that this fight shows how human he is and not a wild beast as most people make him out to be. Filled with rage and hurt by the death of his beloved, he goes face to face with his own brother with all of his might, and this fight proves that one shouldn't charge into a battle with feelings alone. Coming in at number 5, we have the cage match. There's no way this scene wouldn't be on this list. No one can forget this as it's the Wolverine's introductory scene. The match was short, but what can you expect when the guy you have to beat is made of metal? And not just any metal at that. There wasn't even a need to bare his claws, and despite the crowd's constant booing, he was so chill and has no care in the world as he just sits there smoking his cigar. You can't help but smirk when the host warned the last challenger not to hit his balls.
Whatever you do, don't hit him in the balls.
You said anything goes.
Anything goes, but he'll take it personal.
Wolverine vs. Black Ninja Clan comes in at number 4. A night in the streets of Japan won't be complete without a battle with ninjas. Or is that just an exclusive opinion for otakus? Anyway, to get Mariko back, because dear old Logan's love struck once again, he now has to get through the Black Clan that have served to be the personal bodyguards or army or whatever it is of Mariko's family. Naturally, even if Wolverine can clearly see that he's outnumbered and getting weaker, the animal in him just says, what the hell, I can take them all on. So there he goes again, fighting with who knows how many ninjas, with their swords and motors and all of that. Luckily for him, his little redhead samurai friend comes along to his aid, hopping on a truck, shredding the ninjas, painting the town red. Sadly, he was still overpowered and taken, but that last part showed how powerful and determined he was, because it took loads of arrows in his back, men pulling him down, and even a poison already in his system before he was taken away. At number 3, we have the funeral fight scene. One shouldn't forget this scene at all. A poisoned Logan with blurry vision, weakened as he bleeds to death because his healing abilities aren't working, is still standing up, using every single ounce of his remaining strength to save and protect Mariko from being abducted. Wow. Just wow. I mean, can you imagine? You're already bleeding to death, still getting shot and beaten, you're practically walking around dead, not fully aware of what's happening and feeling your strength leaving your body. No normal person could withstand all of that pain. But here's Logan pushing through it. It proves how badass he really is. Personally speaking, this scene's one of my all-time favorite action scenes because of the determination he showed. No one could have pulled off the role of Wolverine better than Hugh Jackman. That's clearly the fan in me talking right now, isn't it? In the runner-up spot at number 2, it's Wolverine vs. Sabertooth vs. Gambit. Wolverine is face to face with his brother again, eager to beat the crap out of him for revenge, but an annoying pretty boy's face gets in his way. It was freaking funny when he appeared and was about to start his monologue and Wolverine just punched him. But this pretty boy is determined to battle Wolverine, so he came back with his mighty stick, which annoyed Wolverine since that caused Sabertooth to get away. Still, his fight with Gambit was entertaining. Who wouldn't love watching Wolverine make a fool out of another pretty boy? Scott.
Hey, it's me.
Prove it.
You're a dick.
Okay.
And finally at number 1, we have Wolverine vs. Mystique. Now this is a fight no one can forget. Everyone loves a good fight with Mystique. Not to bash Jennifer Lawrence, but this Mystique here is a great actress and making her seem so playful and seductive that her fight with Wolverine is actually really entertaining, right? Or is that just my personal opinion? Anyway, not knowing which is which, the other X-Men have trouble giving aid to Wolverine. Not that he needs it though, since he can hold his own. Wolverine's forced to tap into his inner dog to determine who's who by using his keen sense of smell. So try as you may, Mystique, you can't fool Wolverine.
We have to regroup.
I know, but there's a problem. You're not part of the group.
So with that, the list comes to an end. What do you think of this list? Let us know in the comment section below. And also, remember this is Volume 2, so do make sure you check out Volume 1 as well. You may find fights you didn't see in this video. Be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to stay in the loop of all my future uploads. Thank you for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time on the TV Regent.